Okay, welcome back to the Coderoom, everybody. Now in this episode, we're going to give a little bit of visual life to your webpage. Now, all up until now, we've been learning a lot of cool stuff like headers, links, tables, lists, all these kind of cool things. But I mean, the reality is it's all text, right? I mean, your webpage is looking, you know, it's got a lot of stuff on there, but it's all text. I mean, when's the last time you went to a website that only had text, right? There's always images, there's always pictures that are in the website. And today we're going to teach you how to put images into your website, all right? Now, this would generally work for most images that you would deal with on a regular basis. So JPEGs, PNGs, bitmaps, GIFs, all these will typically work, okay? And you can use any images that you can garner, that you can grab for yourself, okay? Now, one thing I should mention is that you have to be a little bit careful when you get into the web world and having rights to images that you use, okay? So if you are gonna, publish a website, you wanna make sure that you're using images that you have rights to or that have no copyright issues or anything like that, right? Maybe they're public domain images or whatever, right? Now in this video, I mean, this is just for illustrative purposes and you guys are just learning. So if you wanna just grab, some photos from the internet, that should be fine. But just keep that in mind a little bit about the rights and usage you have. Okay, so let's dive into it. It's a pretty short lesson. We're gonna learn a new tag today called IMG, which stands for image, okay? Now, before we put images into our website, though, we actually have to grab a couple images, okay? So I have a couple images on my desktop here, okay? So I'll just show you. I've actually downloaded a couple images from Google Images, okay? If you're curious, you can go to images.google.ca, and you can search for images here. So I searched for movies, for example. And I actually went into the settings, advanced search, and at the very bottom here, usage rights, I put free to use, share, or modify even commercially. And that helps you out a little bit in finding images that you might be able to use for free, okay? So I grabbed a couple images, and I have a couple here. So I have 4 images. I have an image of myself. This is a picture that my wife took of me. And then I downloaded this image for movies, and I downloaded this image for TV, and I downloaded this image for video games, okay? So these are 4 images that I'm actually gonna put into the website, all right? Now, but before you do that, we're gonna have to put those images into the same directory as the HTML files that we had. So just like before how we created the home page, the about page, and the contact page, and we put them all into the same folder, same thing with these images, okay? So let's do that. So here I am, I'm on my folder, so Casey Lee Dev Web Projects, my first website. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna move all those images or copy all those images right into here, okay? So all those images are in there now. And in fact, the image of me, I'm just gonna rename to, Casey Lee, just so it's easier to refer to. All right, so we have Casey Lee image, games, movies, and TV, okay? So now let's put those images in our website. All right, so for the image, my kind of headshot here, I'm just gonna put that at the top of my website because this is like my website. I wanna kind of show a picture of myself there, okay? So that's gonna be above the movies, but below the home, about, and contact links, right? So right in between here. Okay, so to put an image tag, okay, we're gonna do IMG, okay? And image is very similar to the break tag that we talked about a little while back, the line break tag. So here, there's a line break tag. And this is one of the few tags we talked about that's called a self-closing tag, okay? So rather than typing image and then close image, okay? Image is a self-closing tag. And the way we do that is we don't actually type a closing tag, but we put the / before that greater than sign, okay? So it's a subtle difference, okay? Like there's no 2 corresponding tags. And it's not a / right at the beginning, it's actually a / at the end. That is a self-closing tag, okay? We saw this before with our line breaks down here, okay? So this is how you type an image tag. And now image tag just has one attribute, well, it has multiple attributes. One of the most important attributes is the source. In other words, where is the image coming from, okay? And so to do that, you type src. And remember how attributes work. It's always the name of the attribute equals, and then the value inside quotation marks, okay? So there we go, inside quotation marks. And we just need the value there. And the value is just the image name, okay? So in this case, our image was called caseylee.png. So we just do caseylee.png and we just save that. Okay, so that looks good. We go back to our web page and we refresh it, and there we go. Okay, we have my image there. All right. Now I don't like how the image is kind of on the same line as this, and we're going to see some fancy ways to split that up, okay, in the future. But just for now, let's just create a break so it's on a new line, okay? So I'm just going to create a break after the links. Now this is typically not how you would do this, but again, we'll learn in the future how to do this in a better way. Okay, so we break that, save that, and refresh. Okay, there we go. So now my home links and about links are still at the top, and then my picture's underneath it. Okay? Now I want to add an image for movies, TV, and video games. So let's do that. All right, so under movies at the top here, we'll do the same thing, IMG, and then close it, and then give it a source. And the source in this case was called movies.png. Movies.png. So we'll save that, go back to our webpage, refresh it, and there we go. So movies, and then movies has always been a big part of my life. Let's do the same thing with TV and video games. So TV, and I think the file was called tv.png. Okay, and we'll refresh it. There we go, TV's there, and we'll do it lastly for video games. I think it's just called games. Let's double check. Games.png, yeah, games.png. Okay, so save it, go back to Chrome, refresh, and there we go. All right. So that's how you add images to your web page. You just have to make sure, again, that it's in the same folder, and then you put the full file name, okay? Now this will work for JPEGs, again, for GIFs, for all those kind of things, okay? Now one last thing I want to show you guys here is a little bit of organization, all right? If we look at our folder here, what's not very good is that our kind of images are kind of mixed in with our HTML files, and it maybe get a little bit hard to read there, right? So I'm actually going to put all my images into its own folder just to keep things organized. Again, this is a preference for you guys, but again, the more you keep things organized, the better your code will be, all right? So I'm actually going to create a new folder under my first website, okay? And I'm going to call it images. All right, now I'm going to put Casey Lee, games, movies, and TV all into there, okay? So Casey Lee, I'm going to throw into there games, movies, and TV. I'm going to throw all into there, okay? So now what's nice is it's all organized, right? It's all under images, about content index HTML. Now it's really organized to see this. Now there's a problem. If we go back to our website and we refresh it, all these images are gone. All you get are these kind of broken image kind of things. And this is what the browser does to say, I can't find this image, I don't know where the image is. You reference an image that doesn't seem to exist, okay? Because we moved it into the images folder, we now have to tell our code, go find it in there. So the one change we have to make, okay, is where is this coming from? So it's not just coming at the top level caseylee.png, but it's inside the folder images. And the way we type that is images /, okay? So this is saying wherever you are right now, go into the images folder, and then you'll find caseylee.png. So let's save that, go back to Chrome, refresh, and we're back, okay? So we have to do that for each one of them now, okay? So for TV, we're gonna do images /tv.png, for games as well, and I forgot movies at the top here. Okay, so save that, and everything's back, okay? Now, just for future reference, this is known as a path, okay? In other words, how do you get to a file? That's a path, right? Okay, so where you are currently, okay, so the index HTML file is here, where you are currently, you got a path to the file. So images, and then in there you'll find the images, all right? Now, one thing I want to say is that you guys are probably wondering, well, how do I resize my images? My images might not be the size that I want it. Don't worry, we're going to get to that in a future lesson. All right, so that's it for this lesson. We'll see you guys in the next one.